Well, Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you all had wonderful holidays. I know we sure did here. And today I'm going to be wrapping up this saw, at least I hope so. That's my intention. And bear in mind that I have worked on this. It's been over multiple days, many days, but with a drying process in between. But I'm ready to finally get it wrapped up. So anyway, let's just go ahead and see what I got going. Well, let me tell you, I am so happy to get this project completed. I have been waiting a long time for this. I have been worked on really hard on this project. And I'll tell you what, I have loved every minute of it. And boy, have I learned a lot. I have some interesting photos at the end. I have a good photo of the project itself. I also am going to show you how I finished off the handle because that was an interesting process all by itself. So this is going to be a very unusual video, I think. You won't see a lot of parts on this. The reason being it's just way too much to cover. The difference between working on metal and canvas was really for me a difficult thing to learn. I found that the metal was so smooth, and it was not like anything I've painted on before, and it's just a whole different feel. And I used different brushes. I used pretty much all synthetic brushes just because the metal is so smooth. With canvas, a bristle brush works really well. Canvases are great to work on because it has that tooth. Metal is just flat and smooth and has no tooth at all, so it's just a totally different feel, and it's really different to get used to. But once I got going on it and I got the feel of the metal, I really enjoyed working on it. Like I said, I used synthetic brushes. Through this whole saw painting here, the only brushes I used was pretty much a 1/4 inch flat brush, 1/8 inch flat brush, and a 3/8 inch flat brush, or no, a 3/8 inch angle brush. And with just those 3 brushes, I thought it was amazing what I got accomplished. So I was really pleased with it. Like I said, this is a very unusual video because you're not going to see a lot. You won't see any of me in it. and the reason this painting took so many days and it was so much drying time, because I'd work on it for a few days and then I would take a break, or work on it for a few hours, excuse me, and then I would take a break. I would let it dry, and then a day or two later work on it some more for an hour or two, and blah blah. Anyway, that's why this video literally is very long. I would guess I have about 17 to 20 hours in this painting. So what you're going to see here, I really condensed it. I made the painting a whole lot shorter because I know you don't have that kind of time. And I condensed it down to just a little, I think it was a little over a half hour. So I increased the speed by about 1/3 because I figure you don't need to see every little stroke. But I did leave my canvas, or my palette there, so you could kind of watch what I'm doing on my palette. So mainly what I wanted to do in this video is just show you some of the highlights and some of the different things you can do. Through this process, I did change things frequently, like the height of some of the trees and some of the colors, some of the blending. I was just constantly changing things, but in this video you won't see all that because, like I say, it would have taken just way too much time. So I'm just going to let you watch most of the time while I just paint. It's pretty much self-explanatory. You just watch what I'm doing and you can see it pretty easy. I think it's pretty easy to see. So this is New Year's. Happy New Year. Matter of fact, I think this is this is New Year's Day, January 1st, 2026. So did you make a resolution? I'll let you think about that for a minute. I thought maybe I would make a resolution, and then I thought, no, maybe I won't. Why, you ask? Because every time I make a New Year's resolution, it lasts for what, a couple of days, maybe a week, maybe a month, and then I break it. And so I think, well, why should I even bother? But I would like to do something this year that would be different. I don't know what that's going to be. My first thought is always maybe lose weight, work more, do more exercise, eat healthier, all the common things that everybody does. But I thought this year I should do something different. I really need to do something different. So I'm going to think on that, and I don't know what I'll come up with. So tell me, what did you make for a New Year's resolution, or did you make one even? And how was your Christmas? We had children come down from Portland to visit for Christmas, and that was fun. We only get to see the kids maybe once, at the very most twice a year. They live quite a ways away. And so it's really a treat when they come down. We always make a nice meal. Oh, this Christmas we did, it was a chicken pot pie, but without the crust, which made it delicious. Let me tell you, it was really good. So it was a chicken pot pie with hot biscuits, corn. What else did we have? Oh, cream cheese with sweet chili pepper on it, and crackers. And we had coleslaw and some candies for dessert. And it was just a perfect meal. It just was absolutely perfect. I loved it. A lot of times we'll go all out and do something really, really, big pot roast or something like that. But this year was simple and easy and so delightful and so delicious. So, like I said, it was just really a treat having the kids here. I wish they had stayed longer. They're on their way to California to visit more of their family. But they will be coming back this way in January, early part of January. So luckily we'll get to visit with them again, and this time they said they'd stay longer. So we're really looking forward to that. I don't know what kind of things we'll get into, but I'm sure it will be something. So what did you do over Christmas? We stayed home practically all of the holidays except for church things that were going on. There was just so many parties this year. Oh, we just got partied out. We have a partying church. Oh, on Christmas Eve, Sis and I did exchange gifts. And, this is the first time ever that I had a gift list. And she did a gift list too. And so we got to see each other's gift list on Amazon. And that was fun. We've never done that before. And what I really loved about that is that I just didn't go out and buy a bunch of stuff that my sis doesn't want or doesn't need, because I saw the things that she really did want. So the main thing I got her was a brand new computer keyboard, and it was wireless and it works off solar. So she never has to charge it, and she never has to do anything with it. It just works off the light. I don't know how that works, and I don't know how it keeps a charge long enough, especially in Oregon here in the winter where we have dark days. But I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how this worked out. The bad thing was that when she got the gift, I ordered the one that she had on her list. When she received it, it turned out to be for a Mac computer. Well, she doesn't have a Mac, she has a Windows. So we had to go through that process of exchanging it, you know, turning that back in and getting a keyboard for a Windows computer. So unfortunately, she's not probably going to get that for a week or two yet. That was kind of sad. But I got a beautiful gift from her. Oh, I was just thrilled with this. I had put on my list a piano, not a real piano, but you know, like one of those Casio pianos. And it's called, I think it was Rock Jam. And that's what she got me for Christmas. Oh my gosh, I'll tell you, it is so fun. I had a Casio piano about oh my gosh, I can't even remember how many years ago. And I never did play with it very much. I think maybe I fooled around for a few hours on it and just, no, piano has never been my thing. Since I've been going to church so frequently, and I thought, I really want to learn how to sing better and learn some different songs and stuff. And so I thought, yeah, piano would probably really help with that. So that's why I had asked for a piano for Christmas, and by golly, sis sure came through. It is beautiful. I absolutely love it. What else was I going to say? Oh, and then a couple of days later, after Christmas, I got another package, and it was a book on how to play piano, which is so great because I'll tell you something. I have never played or never learned how to read music. I don't know the first thing about reading music or playing the piano. I don't know anything about it at all. So this is going to be probably a stressful time, but also a happy learning time. So I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, that's going to be fun. And let's see what else for Christmas. Oh gosh. Oh, I got her a book on, she loves to paint and draw, and so I got her a book on drawing little girls. That it's the kind of art that she likes. It's kind of what do I want to say? Oh, I can't remember the word, but more like cartoon type characters. She's a beautiful artist, my sis is. So anyway, I got her a book for that. I guess that was pretty much it. We just really had a good time. It was nice and quiet. My sis and I watched some movies, and it was a lot of fun. I can't remember what we watched though. Oh, I know what it was. Eurovision with Will Ferris. That was a fun movie. Very happy singing type movie. We really like it. Oh, I have some good news. We got to visit our brand new church for the first time on Monday the 20th, I think it was, or the 18th, the 20, oh, the 22nd, Monday the 22nd. When we're buying a church that has previously owned by somebody else, because they are getting a new church. And so we can't get into our church right now. It won't be until February when we finally get to make the move. We have to wait for them until their new church is completed so they can move, and then once they're out of their church, then we can move into our new church. So we had our first service there. We rented it for the evening. I shouldn't say we rented it because we own it now, but we booked it. We booked it for that Monday night. And so, wow, we just had a fabulous turnout. And it was called Coco's and what was it? Cocoa Song and Cocoa and Cookies, something like that. Song and Cocoa, Cookies and Christmas. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it, but we must have had, I'm guessing, about 1,000 cookies. I mean, people just really showed up for the cookie and the hot chocolate. Oh, we had fabulous hot chocolate. Anyway, like I say, there was probably about 1,000 cookies because I don't know how many people volunteered, but we had boxes and boxes and boxes of cookies on big long tables in the main central area. And so that was a lot of fun. Oh, the kids, they loved that. And of course, Santa Claus came. And Sis and I got to take a picture with Santa Claus, which was tons of fun. Oh, we did a couple of other pictures, and there was a lot of good photographs that night. Anyway, the first service, it was a short one. It wasn't very long at all. And our pastor did an amazing talk on Christmas and baby Jesus, etc., etc. We did a lot of singing Christmas songs, and that was very nice. We really enjoyed that. So all in all, it was a fabulous evening, and it was our first taste of being in our real new church. So everyone is just so excited and so thrilled to be moving. We can't hardly wait till sometime in February when we can actually move in. So yeah, that's going to be an exciting time, all right. Are you guys ready for spring? I think I'm already looking forward to spring. We've had a really mild winter so far. Our nights are like in the 40s, oh, mid 40s or so, and then in the daytime it gets anywhere between 50 and 60. Really, it's been quite beautiful. We haven't had any snow this year yet. It's been very mild, but we had quite a few rainy days, but we've had some sunshine intermixed with that, and so that's always good. You know, I love the rainy days. My sister hates them. She likes the sunshine. She likes it bright. I like it when it's kind of dark and moody and calm, kind of like rain days, snowy days, whatever. Those are the days when I can just really hunker down and get something done. Those to me are the most excellent paint days. Is when there's no sun out and it's just nice and dark, and it's just a mood thing. You're going to be inside anyway, so why not do something productive inside? So yeah, I love those rainy days. And like I say, we haven't had any snow yet, but then we don't usually get snow till maybe January sometime, maybe February, and then we only get, oh gosh, we only get a day or two or three at the most of snow. And it never gets really cold. If it does snow, it's gone within a day or two. My sis and I, we went we went to the, excuse me. My sis and I went to the coast this past summer, and we had 4 days, actually 4 or 5 days of painting over there, and we had such a great time. And I think, gosh, I'd really love to do that again. Just go to the coast and spend quite a few days just relaxing and painting. Boy, that's just so refreshing to be able to do that. And we have such a wonderful coastline here, the Pacific Northwest is just a beautiful coastline. I suppose the East Coast is beautiful too. I don't know, I've never been there. I wonder how many of you live on the East Coast. I bet a ton of you live on the East Coast. You probably have a whole lot of different pictures there than we have here. A lot different weather, I'm sure. But anyway, that's one of the places that Sis and I would like to go. And another thing we'd love to do is go on a cruise. We have not been on a cruise for years. Some of my most fond memories are of cruising. I'll never forget the first time that my husband and I ever got to go on a cruise together. I booked him a trip, and it was for Father's Day, and it was a surprise. He didn't know anything about it. And so we arranged it with my son that we would drive down to California on the pretense of visiting him. He lives in Santa Ana, California. I think it was a four or 5 day cruise. We drove down, and then Jim delivered us to the cruise ship. Well, my husband was not real pleased when we arrived because he didn't know that that's what it was all about. But anyway, that was his very first cruise. He had never been on a ship before. And we had so much fun for the first day or so. And then, oh my gosh, I had a gallbladder attack. And it was so severe. I cannot believe how bad it was. I mean, it was like, I felt like I was giving birth all over again. And it lasted for like 3 days. I was in severe pain. And of course, there's nothing you can do for gallstones. You just have to wait for them to pass, or they have to take them out. Well, I didn't go to the doctor or anything, not on the ship. I just suffered it out, and I found out that eating anything with oil is a real trigger for gallstones. For boy, did I start watching my diet on the ship. But aside from that one thing, that one attack, or that long attack, we really had a beautiful time. The weather was gorgeous, the ship was gorgeous, the food was fabulous, the crew was wonderful, and every night we had chocolate on our pillows, and we had little animals that they made from towels and wash rags that were sitting on the bed when we walk in the room at night. And oh gosh, we danced and we dined, and we had the best time. I love cruising. You know, the thing I love the most about it is that when you go on a cruise, everything goes with you. You don't have to pack and unpack every night to go to a new place. You just go to a new place, you get off the ship for a while, you explore, you do what you want to do, and you come back to the ship, and your dinner's waiting for you, and your music is waiting, and all the entertainment is waiting for you. And you know, it's just all inclusive. It's just beautiful. I love cruising. It's my favorite way, or my favorite thing to do. Anyway, my husband, after that first trip, he decided he liked cruising. And so, gosh, we went on quite a few cruises after that together. And before that, I always went with my mom. And Mom and I always had a wonderful time. We'd flirt with those little boys, and we just had a really good time. I love cruising. I'm trying to think if there's any. Oh, I know another thing I would love to do is go on a train trip. I haven't been on a train trip since I was probably maybe 7 years old or so, 7 or 8 years old. In those days, I mean, now, I'm really old, mind you, because in those days, when you took a train trip, we went back to Washington, D.C. And the one thing I remember from there, from when I was very young, is that we were on a bus, and you were not allowed to, black people were not allowed to sit with white people. They had to be separated. You couldn't, they could be on the same bus, but you couldn't invade their area, and they couldn't invade your area. They were separated. That's the only thing I really remember about that trip from that young age. But at the train, I do remember just a little bit about the train, and I just think that would be so neat to go on a train trip and get one of, and a long trip. I'm not talking about just an hour or two. I'm talking about maybe several days, and maybe go to the Grand Ole Opera place. That would be a fun place to go. Anyway, something that where you could have a berth where you have sleeping facilities. And I don't know what a train is like, but I'm sure they probably have very nice dining areas and good food. And I'm sure probably some of these trains have an upper area, you know, where you can see up high. You can look out and view, just watch things go by. I just think that would be a very relaxing, fun way to go. I wonder if they have dancing on a train trip. I don't know, that would be fun to explore. I have to check it out sometime. Also, they have little cruises down the Columbia Gorge up in Portland area, which that would be another fun thing to explore, is one of these little small ships. And I don't think they're even called a ship. I don't know what they're called, but they have smaller ones that are like only 1 or 2 or 3 stories high. They go up and down the Columbia Gorge. So that would be another fun and interesting thing to do. So there's so many things to do in this lifetime and so little time to do it all. So something I did on this painting, I decided, you know, it's too bad that I didn't think of it before, but when I got to the end of this painting, I let it dry, took care of everything I needed to take care of, did my video, uploaded it, and decided after I had done that that I wanted to put in a waterfall. Unfortunately, you won't see me painting the waterfall. However, you will see the finished waterfall in the painting, and I thought that was a nice little added touch. And so you can look for that at the end of the video. So I am getting close to the end of this video now. As you can see, I've really changed a lot of the details from segment to segment. It's just been so much fun. This is really a great project. I don't know where this painting is going to end up. I don't know where the home is going to be. Maybe on my wall, maybe in the garage, maybe in the art room. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it yet. My sis and I were talking about that the other day. But I will find something to do with it. Probably the hardest part on this painting was the little church. That, for some reason, you know, getting a building to just look right, keep it at the right angle and all that, probably that was the hardest part. But it was just a real challenge and a lot of fun. And I'm so glad I did this. I think I would probably like to do another one. And I don't know what kind of a scene. Maybe, you know, you guys sent me so many great ideas to do on this saw here that maybe I'll take one of those ideas and do another saw. Maybe not the same kind of a saw, but you know, maybe a round one, a larger one. I think they're come at 8 and 10 and 12 inches. It might be kind of fun to paint one of those. Now that I've got an idea of how to prep it and everything, it's not all that difficult. You just have to have all the supplies for it. And I'm so, so thankful for John and his helping me with this project. I mean, that was just a wonderful, wonderful help. He was a blessing for sure. So I'm waiting for my sister to do the other saw. You know, I got 2 saws. I thought I want Sis to do one because she is really good with her kind of painting, and I just know she could come up with some great ideas. So these little details on this building, I'm just having to use the tiniest, tiniest little brush. It's like a 000. I forgot about that brush, but I did. It is a very tiny detail brush, and you really need something for this tiny, tiny detail. For things like doing the birds and the trim and the cross on the steeple. So I'll have to think about my next project, whether it's going to be winter, since we're coming into winter. I could probably do a winter project. Now you'll see at the end of this video I did change this building just a slight bit, but not all that much. And then I can't remember, did I mention I will show you how to do I will show you how I did the handle also. Yeah, that was another project that probably, knowing what I know now after having experienced it one time, I would probably do it a little bit different than I did with this one. But you know, that's how you learn. You just experiment with things until you do learn something, and once you learn it, then you know what to do next time. That's a good thing. Working on these highlights for me was probably the most fun part of the project. I think the highlights is really, really where it all comes together. This painting, like I say, was very slow. I started out with just my background, just dull basic colors, you know, just blotches of colors here and there. And then just slowly developed it over a period of time, just working a day at a time. And just adding layer upon layer upon layer, and then just letting it dry in between. I really love this method of painting. You notice that I've really gotten a long ways from the Bob Ross paintings that I used to do. I'm finding that there's so many different ways out there to paint, and different ways to explore. And so why not take advantage of that? I mean, just sometimes it's good not to just get locked into one thing, because there is so much art out there and so many beautiful things that you can do. And there's so many great teachers on YouTube that share their knowledge and their experiences with you. So, you know, I encourage you to go out and watch and learn and see what you can. Do what you can. So, very close to the end now. So you're probably wondering how I finished this handle. This was kind of interesting. The first thing I did was took a 320 grit sandpaper. I sanded it all off smooth, and then I wiped it really good with a cloth, and then after that, it has the breaks in here, which was the same on the other side. And so I took wood filler and I just filled up those gaps. And then once that was done, I dried it, and then I sanded it again with really fine sandpaper. After that, I took oil paint, and I just sort of matched, put in a darker color, because I thought when I stain it, it's going to turn dark. And so I put in a darker color of kind of brown to fill up those gaps. And I let that dry, and then the final thing I did was put on polyurethane. And this was really nice stuff. I was very impressed with it. I've never used it before, but it's called Warm Gloss, and it's just a fast-drying polyurethane. It's an oil, and so then the finished result is like this. And I thought it just turned out excellent. I'm very pleased with it. The streak isn't there. It shows, but it's not real bad. No way to hide it completely. Anyway, I'm pleased with it. So this is the finished painting with all the new added details, even the little waterfall. I'm so glad you got to see this project with me and to go through it. So now it's your turn. Now you can try one of your own. And I'll tell you, I may take a break from videos for a bit because I'm a little bit burned out right now. Till next time, I hope you have a very blessed and happy new year, and may all your art dreams come true. Bye-bye.